overlooking our beautiful view of Market Street. How appropriate, because in the Hesselson studio, we have Corning Mayor Bill Boland. Good morning.
Good morning, Frank.
How does it feel good to be back?
It does. You know, still getting a little bit on Italy time, but
Yeah.
Transitioning pretty well. Thanks.
So you just got back from San Giovanni, Valdarno. How long was the trip for?
10 days.
Oh, wow.
Full 10 days.
How was the travel?
Well, the flight over for a person my age was a little rugged.
Yeah.
But no, we survived. And
Took you 7 days to recover, just so you could do it again?
Yeah, they say for every day you're over there, it takes you a day to recover.
Is that right?
We're getting there.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So how long have you, has it just been since you were mayor that you got involved with Sister Cities?
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. Yeah, I'm an ex officio member of the San Giovanni and the Sister Cities Committee in general.
Yeah.
So I've just taken a real interest in it.
I think it's great because last year they came and visited here.
They did.
And that was a blast. And you had everything set up. Everybody did, but had so many things set up for them to do. Does it feel the same when you go over there? Is everything set up? You got a lot of big events?
I'll tell you, the thoughtfulness and care that they put into the program that
Oh,
they
yeah.
put together for us, truly, Frank,
Really?
an experience of a lifetime. And I know our group, we had 8 adults go over with 2 students, and I know to a person they felt like we had just an experience of a lifetime. The hospitality was through the roof.
And we're going to show some pictures here in just a little bit, but I had a couple more questions before we do that. I want to keep people hooked so they can see the pictures. What made you decide that this was the year you were going to go on the trip?
Well, actually, we had decided in 2020 that was the plan. And then, if you remember, Italy was the initial international hotspot for COVID.
Right.
In fact, we had a student group that was over there in the north of Italy at that time.
Oh,
if you
really?
Remember? And so we
I forgot about
had to postpone that. But so the earliest opportunity we had, you mentioned we had them visit with us. A delegation came led by the mayor last year.
Yeah.
We had a wonderful signing ceremony. We renewed our agreement that has been in place for over 20 years.
I was just going to ask, so it's been about 20 years, and that's what did you have to go there to kind of do it on the backside of it too? Or?
Yeah, they wanted the opportunity to kind of showcase the program, and again, the level at which they did it was just thoughtful and comprehensive and just caring.
I didn't get a chance to talk to the mayor too much, but she seems like a very nice lady.
She's a tough lady.
Is she?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so you saw it behind closed doors.
The controversy we had with closing the streets during COVID.
Oh yeah.
She wrote me a letter at that time. She said, keep the automobiles off the streets. And I said, well, our merchants are concerned about that. She said, well, you have to be tough. She's a tough lady, but she's a very, very nice
She's very nice. I like the whole group, and we'll show pictures later, but you got to help me with the name, because when I was on radio, I used to have the kids come in when they would visit, and all the adults, and it was just such a blast. So I think this is such a nice thing that we do in Corning. And you and I were talking not that long ago. It's not just San Giovanni Valdarno, but Corning has other sister cities.
We do. We've had longstanding sister city relationships with Kakagawa, Japan, and interestingly enough, Lviv, Ukraine, who will be visiting with us, a delegation led by the mayor, over Glassfest. So we're really looking forward to that.
Oh, is that right?
That's in the planning
I
stages
can't wait for that. That's wonderful. Wow, talk about, are you planning on going to all the sister cities yourself?
I would really like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, going to Lviv is a question mark.
Of course.
That is absolutely on my radar to do that.
That is so nice that they can come and visit. I can't wait for that. You'll have to keep us updated on that.
Absolutely.
I'm sure there'll be a lot of festivities around it. While you were over there, how good are you with the language? Not good. Not good. I'll take that as a no.
I think I would say buongiorno, and then I would go. That's the end of the Italian.
That's all I know.
But we had a wonderful gentleman by the name of Paolo Ricci, who was our constant guide. Charming, funny. He knew everybody, Frank. He knew absolutely everybody. So, and he was our interpreter. So we weren't lacking from that.
So we're going to see some pictures in a moment. But how beautiful is San Giovanni Valdarno?
Well, Tuscany in general is just spectacular. And the nice thing about Italy is that it's organized into smaller towns. So each one is charming in their own.
Oh, sure.
Obviously, Florence is a big one, but otherwise, just charming. Historic. Obviously, centuries and centuries of culture.
How does San Giovanni Valdarno, so I'm just trying to say it as many times as I can, how does it compare to Corning, size-wise?
About the same.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
that's
about
great.
the same. They're a little bit bigger.
And you had mentioned that the 2 students got to go with you.
Yes, indeed.
What did it mean to them? Because, I mean, as an adult, it meant a lot to you. I'm sure once-in-a-lifetime kind of opportunity, something you'll never forget. What's it mean for the students?
Well, let me put it in perspective. The last meeting of the San Giovanni committee, before we left, the 2 students were there. And to be very honest with you, I kind of looked I met them for the first time, and I did see some consternation, some skepticism, not skepticism, but just concern, like they didn't know what they were getting into.
Sure.
Well, they stayed in individual people's homes with sister cities.
That's a
sister
great idea. Yeah.
City.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the next time that we saw them was a municipal ceremony, and they were walking up and down the street with their sisters.
Isn't that good?
Guest sisters.
Yeah.
And they were just smiling, beaming. Animated conversation. It was quite clear that they were just soaking this all in.
Well, and I know when I would have the students come in, we would talk about that, if they became friends. And this is before COVID, so I don't know how the rules have changed. And it was interesting to hear the stories of past members of the sister cities, how they have really stayed in contact, almost like pen pals. And now it's different than the actual pen pals that you have to mail, but they actually do stay friends.
Well, not only the students, which is of primary importance, because they're the future of not only our country and their country, but Sister Cities Association itself. But what we've learned over the 20 years is when we do these exchanges, friendships are formed and they are maintained.
And that's what it seemed like. And that's why I've always been such a supporter of this group, because it's not just about the trip, it's about the experience. Now, when you were there, I know when you had the mayor come here, there were some kind of political events because she's the mayor. Did they have you mostly at political events, or was it a kind of a mixed bag?
I would say they stayed away from political.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, the signing ceremony was in a municipal building with the whole municipal council there. So from that standpoint, it was a political event, but nothing controversial.
No, I didn't mean like that. I just meant I didn't know if there was a lot of pomp and circumstance, I guess, in that political. Oh, yeah.
I mean, we'll get to some of that when we see some of the photographs.
Exactly. So everybody wants to ask this when someone comes back from Italy. How was the food? What was your favorite food?
Man.
Yeah. How much weight did you put on after?
We eat pasta here a little bit, but there's no pasta like the pasta there. And the Italians themselves, we learned, don't eat like they, provided us to eat. They took us and I mean, it was, soup to nuts. It took you about 2 hours to finish, and there's a little red wine that went.
Of course. Yeah, of course.
But we ate and ate. I think I gained about 7 pounds.
It's worth it, though, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is it going to be tough coming back and having Chef Boyardee for dinner?
Indeed.
Is there anything before we're going to take a short break, and then we're going to go to the questions or to the photos? Do you have a most memorable moment, or was it so memorable?
Yeah, Again, Paolo Ricci that I mentioned was just a gentleman who knew everybody. When we pulled into Rome and took a left turn into the Vatican, and were met by a Swiss guard, and there was about a 3-sentence interchange between Paolo and he's Paolo Ricci. And we drove into an interior courtyard where we were met by a Franciscan monk who's the parish priest. The Vatican actually has a Catholic parish. His church is St. Peter's Basilica. And he took us on a tour and had lunch with us. So, I'm a practicing Catholic, so for me, and for all of us, really, believers and not, it was just a peak experience.
Oh, I'm sure it would have to be. Do you feel that you'll stay in contact? I know you'll stay in contact with the mayor out of necessity, but will you stay in contact with some of the people you met?
Absolutely. The deputy mayor, Fabio Franchi, is a very active participant. He's been a proponent of this program forever and ever. And we're engaged in developing a cultural exchange. So that'll be one way. And Paolo, we all felt, the experience that he shared with us was just extraordinary, and we'll absolutely be friends forever. When's
the next trip? When do they come back here? Is that
They're coming in April, actually.
Oh, are they really?
First week in April.
And that's students?
There'll be two students.
Mix, right.
The guest sister or host sisters will be returning here, so they'll get the experience they gave our kids.
Oh, isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, and there'll be the mayor's not coming this time, but a good, nice, healthy delegation.
Oh, that'll be great. Are you doing any ceremonies like you did last year?
Not the formal ceremonies, but there'll be plenty of activities.
Yeah, you have to have them stop by the studio. That'd be so much fun.
We'll
I'd love to talk to them.
do that. Frank.
That'd be great. So let's take a short break, and then when we come back, we're going to look at pictures from San Giovanni Valdarno and the sister city. So stay with us. We'll be right back. And we are back at Frankly Speaking here on WYDC TV Big Fox. I'm your host, Frank Aiken. We're broadcasting live from the Hesselson studio. We're being joined by Corning Mayor Bill Boland. All right, the moment everybody's been waiting for, Bill. We're going to put the pictures up on the screen from your trip. Can you see that okay?
I can.
All right, so we're going to go to the screen, and let's see if I can pull this off. All right, so that's our first picture.
Yeah, that's San Giovanni Valdarno's main piazza. Piazza Masaccio over the famous Italian painter. That's the old municipal building in the foreground.
Okay.
With the steeple that those bells rang every morning, wake us up to call to mass. The cathedrals in the background. It's just a traditional piazza. You see them in every town.
Yeah, well, it's beautiful. And then we'll go to this next photo. That's the whole group.
Yeah, this is the executive committee of the municipal council. These are the leaders that actually run the city. They brought us in and made presentations to us. What you don't see behind the table is all the associations that make up the cultural and economic center of the city. They brought in all these people, and they made individual little presentation to us. So we got the full gamut of what they do and how they do it.
Well, this is like the radio days. I have to tell everybody again what we're doing here. We're showing pictures from San Giovanni Valdarno. I like this picture. That's a good picture.
This is the formal signing ceremony that we were talking about, and again, they just, the way they planned, the way they executed that ceremony was just wonderful. And this is Mayor Vadi, Valentina Vadi, and the other person there is Elena Spadaccio, who's the president of the municipal council.
Oh.
And one thing I'll point out, it's Women's History Month.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, if you didn't see in that other picture, women dominate the leadership picture in San Giovanni Valdarno.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
And like you said, she's tough, but she's fair.
Indeed.
Like that, right?
And she's funny.
Yeah,
we shared a sense of humor.
We had blessed. But so that's called Protocol of Understanding, and that's the sister cities, now Corning and San Giovanni Valdarno. Okay, the next picture, this must be the whole group, right?
This is when we visited the Tuscany regional office. This is the president of the Tuscany region standing with the red tie. He's equivalent to our governor.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, it was
that's a big deal.
Ornate, beautiful, historic building. And as you can see, which we haven't mentioned, those two students are really the center.
Yes.
And you can see that in this picture.
What an amazing experience for the students.
Absolutely.
I mean,
and Molly, who's to the right of the second gentleman, we actually went into the chambers. And she was kind of shy to begin with, but she said, "Can I sit in the big guy's chair?" And she did. We got a photograph.
Oh,
isn't that great?
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got to ask you. He's the one that all the way to the right.
That's Emmanuel Bond.
Thank you.
He goes back to the beginning. Now this
great.
relationship goes back 20 years, and he's been a teacher. He's now retired, but an absolute salt to the earth, beautiful human being. And he did everything to make our trip wonderful.
I've never seen someone, because I used to have them in early in the morning on the radio show. He was a ball of energy at 6 a.m. He loved every second being here.
He speaks about 5 words of English, but he communicates.
Oh, and he gave a great radio interview. Go figure. He really did. he was great. I always look forward to having him on. Okay, next up. There we go. This is really neat. This is really interesting to me.
Yeah, this was a serious moment. Every year there's a memorial to an event that took place in the latter days of World War II, when the retreating Nazis, the Italian partisans came out in force and were battling the Nazis. And Nazis made it clear that for every one of them killed, they would kill 10 in San Giovanni. Wow. And at one time, they rounded up 192 citizens of San Giovanni Valdarno, men, women, and children, and took them out and shot them.
That's
so every year, they commemorate that, and they march to the piazza, and they lay a ribbon. And so this was an extraordinary honor for me to be participating in that solemn ceremony.
Yeah, what a moving experience. Indeed. So now we're going to change up and go a little light for a moment, in a way.
Well, this is right after. I mean, this is after you can see the piazza. And
that's a great picture, too, in the background.
Absolutely. These were 3 gentlemen that were standing there. So I approached them, and Paula was with me, and I said, well, why are you wearing these ceremonial helmets?
Yeah.
And they said, well, we are the grandchildren of the brigade that fought in World War I that were most noted and remembered famously for going into battle on bicycles. They had no tanks.
Imagine that you're going on a bicycle and you're wearing that hat.
Well, no, I think that's a ceremonial. But they were, I was a little hesitant. But they said, "Would you like to try it on?" And then the mayor came over, so we took this moment for a little.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Wow, riding into bicycles. Now, you think about the old days when they talk about the Revolutionary War, and you didn't want to be the drummer boy, right? Right? You're the guy. No, I don't want the flag. Yeah. That's got to be the same scenario. I mean, it goes to show you how tough people can be in times of need, that they can ride a bicycle in World War I. But okay, enough on that. Going on a tangent. All right, I like this picture a lot.
This is our group, and if I could just kind of really quick go down. On the left-hand side is Joe Tobia, who is
our
really
new legislator.
Heart and soul of San Giovanni committee for years and years. Took 8 adult and student groups over there over the years. Tim Ball's the next in line. He's the current president of the San Giovanni Valdarno committee. His wife Maria is an HR manager at Wegmans. Standing behind her is Shane Halloran in sunglasses. He's a teacher of psychology, sociology, and history at the high school. In the green is Kelly Bacallis. She's an elementary school principal in Elmira. Next to her is George in the red. And of course, George is a longtime educator in our school district, now the vice principal in Horseheads. Behind him is Michelle Caulfield, our superintendent of schools. And next to George in the dark coat is my wife Sue. And in the white coat is Cecilia Ricci. That's Paolo's wife.
Isn't that great? That's a really nice
great
picture.
Group. I mean, we had so much fun. We laughed, we drank wine, and
everything
really competitive euchre games.
I thought that was funny you said that, euchre games, but it is night. But you don't think about sitting around playing euchre when you're in Italy.
Listening to music, playing euchre.
Oh, it's beautiful. And this is, I thought this was appropriate. Well, there's actually 2 more, but I thought this was really, we want to show the kids first, and then there's another picture I'm really excited to show.
Yeah, and again, this is really the meat and potatoes of the program, giving these kids an opportunity to experience a different culture and engage with different people and understand their lifestyle. And again, they are the future. COVID kind of knocked our program a little bit back. There used to be like 10 kids.
I know.
We're going to do that again.
Yeah.
We are energized to do that. So
I would think it would be only a matter of time to get back to those numbers.
This is very popular. It used to be that the kids had to compete to go on this trip. So we want to get back there.
And how appropriate. I love this. And we'll wrap up on that. This beautiful painting.
This was a painting that was gifted. It's a large painting by Mauro Capitani, who's a famous national artist. And it establishes 2 mounts. You can see the clock tower of Corning on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side is a lion, which faces Florence, which is their symbol. And you can see the rivers coming down. Theirs is the Valdarno. Ours, of course, is the Chemung. They meet together in solidarity to join and celebrate the mutual history of the community centered on glass.
And what a thoughtful gift. Are you going to hang that up in the City Hall?
Well, yeah.
Okay. Never mind.
It's not to me. Yeah, absolutely. It's a gift to the city.
I was going to say.
Wish it was to me.
I shouldn't ask that question without giving you a heads up on that. No, those are great pictures, and it sounds like just an amazing time. Are you still holding fundraisers? I know in the past there's fundraisers for the sister cities.
Yeah, I can't give you the date. It is. But I should know that date. But it's coming up. Quickly. Okay. So it'll be a pasta dinner.
Yeah, let me know, because we definitely want to bring it up, because it's something we don't, obviously it's not going to go away, but we don't want it to wane at all, because I think it's important for the kids. It's just an amazing experience overall. Yeah. So how did it feel, though, to get home, to touch down?
I'm not a great world traveler, Frank, but I mean, it's wonderful to travel when all you got to do is show up.
You're right.
But
everything's planned for you.
I like my pillow, so no, it was good to get back. And let me just throw something in before you close.
Yeah, of course.
I know you got an anniversary.
Yeah.
A 1-year anniversary.
You're going to be a part of it.
I am indeed, and I just want to take, as I always do, an opportunity to tell you that, absent a vibrant local news-oriented newspaper, the show that you put on every day to bring people in, discuss local and regional and county issues is just an invaluable service, and you do it extremely well.
Well, thank you. And thank you for being on the show, and I can't wait to get updated on this. I can't wait for them to come over here. And
we'll bring them in.
Please bring them in, and I'd love to talk with them. It's always fun. It's always a fun experience. So thanks so much for doing this, and we'll see you next week on the show.
Sounds good, Frank.
All right, we'll be right back with Frankly Speaking. Please stay with us after this short break, if I can find it. There we go.